Hello. Welcome back to another edition of the Hourglass, episode 3. Anyway, typical as that. It's halfway set, so we're going to pause it. But we're going to be discussing influences today. So, and while I wait for this to reset, a couple of messages brought to you by myself, and feel free to, or subscribe, whatever. I don't do it for subs or any of that crap, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll pause it, and I'll be back. Alrighty. Here we go. G'day. We're back. The hourglass has set itself, and we're good to go. We're going to be talking about influences today. Here we go. Tick, 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 tick. Our life is ticking away. Influences. It's a strange concept, man. It didn't exist when I was younger, obviously. Very strange concept that didn't exist when I was younger. You know, what can you say about it? Well, quite a bit. Well, I can anyway. You know, basically the first thing that usually comes to mind is if you need somebody to tell you how to take a poop, you know, man, you're already in deep poop, you know. If you need somebody to tell you to think, what to buy, what to wear, how to talk, like do-wah, or like, you know, the other kind of way people talk about things, you know, you're already in trouble, mate. If you need somebody, you know, it's alright to be an influence. Well, no. It's alright to say that I particularly like to drink, you know, coffee out of a video game mug. You know, whether you want to do that or not, it's your business. But for me to suddenly go, you know, you need to buy this mug because it'll change your life and make your life better, and because I recommend it, and you know, I've been sponsored by this coffee cup company, blah blah blah. So even if it was absolute crap, I'm still gonna say it's good. You know, you know, thought process, mind thing, influence. It's a nasty and a good thing. It can change people for good or bad. There's no denying either or either. Oh, by the way, feel free to unsubscribe from my channel or subscribe, whatever. Like I've said, I don't do this for likes or popularity or any of that. I do it for enlightenment and trying to raise awareness to certain issues that I find are quite, you know, and you know, it's, I'm not upset that people are making money off of being influencers and things. Good on them. They're not really committing crime, and depending on who the influencers and what they're trying to influence people to do, or act, or say, or become is. But generally, they're just, somebody doing what I'm doing right now, talking crap. Yeah, anyway, so when influencing, I guess, becomes bad is when you get certain people on certain channels that are regime based, and they're like, left is losing it. Ah, you know who you are, don't you? Yeah. And they comb through every single part of the internet to find the worst of the worst. It could be from like years ago, it could be from, and then they'll portray it as it happened just today and hype it up, all to run a regime agenda. That's when influencing, it's not a good thing. Never will be in that sense. The other one with a modern multiculturalism is killing this country. Woke agendas and spiteful, nasty, hateful regime hype being used to influence people who are frustrated and upset, feel like their life is crap. They're feeding on that. They don't care about you. They don't care whether you can afford your rent, pay your bills, can get to work. They care about their income. They care about their profit, and they care about keeping the system in power, or hoping to get a system into power where they can just earn more off of you. That's not influencing you, it's poisoning you. Like I said, if you need somebody to tell you how to take a poop, really you've got to, switch your phone off, look at yourself and go, what have I become? What am I? Where's your critical thinking? Where's your own thoughts? Where's your own thing of going out and experiencing things for yourself? None of us have ever asked to be here, but you are here. You're stuck with it. You have to deal with it. The best way of doing that is not listening to somebody who doesn't give a damn about you or anything else except themselves, their profit, and their income, telling you the best way to enjoy your life or your coffee and just simply be you. You need to be influenced on how to be you, what you want to feel or like. There's something deeply wrong with that. That means there's something deeply wrong with you. I'm not really trying, I guess people will go, but you're trying to influence people right now. Not really. I'm trying to enlighten and awaken people. If you want to follow it, follow it. That's your choice. I'm a big believer on you can make your own choices. That's called that strange word that seems to be just getting flushed down the dunny by our governments and our media. Influencers come in all forms. They can come in media, they can come in paper, they can come in word, they can come in this, that, the other. Influence obviously led a guy here in Perth to throw a nail bomb into the crowd. And for how long ago now was that? A week, 2 weeks? Only from pressure from people he now has finally been charged with a terrorist act. But initially it was just a strange, but there's still no calls from any governments or police or anything to start cracking down on supremacist groups, supremacist influencing. You know, I don't support left or right. Alright? I don't really care about any of those politicians because I know they're all out to get the top job or the Nationals and get that Prime Minister paycheck and then sit back and laugh at us all scurrying around here just like NPCs in SimCity. That's all they're influencing you for, is to take away what little garbage, pathetic rights we have left. They're not influencing you, they're poisoning us. They're breeding hatred, they're breeding dissent, they're demonizing people. Rather, you know why? You know what it's really about, the big influence? If I'm looking at this guy across the street going, look at that immigrant stealing my job, or blah blah blah, or whatever, I'm not looking up at them going, hang on, you're the ones in power, you're the ones in control, you're the ones who make the laws, you're the ones who control the money, you're the ones who have taken away union rights and things to, you know, the greatest crime ever created in the last 50 years. Permanent casual employment. How is that even a word? How can that sentence even be allowed to be said? You're a permanent throwaway nothing. But yet you're going to blame people sitting across from you, walking next to you. You're going to blame a political group or a political group. No, you're blaming the guy walking next to you. You're not blaming the people in power. See, that's the influence. That's influence for you, 101. I'm pretty sure back in the 38, 39, there was a lot of influencing going on. And the people who didn't agree with the influencing, well, we know what happened to them, eh? I think it was, you got a purple star? Or a purple band or something like along. I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, but, you know, young people are getting sucked in by this rotten, poisonous system. There's millions of grok AI Musk comment things. They're not even people. There's more of them on the internet than people, it seems like, lately. You know? And you've got all these massive media things like, Ronnie's losing it. It's trying to claim that the Millennium movie was a multi-million-dollar hit. And what? Everybody knows the movie is one of the biggest flops that's ever been created. But they're still claiming it's a hit on certain channels, trying to influence people. You know. The left or the right, they all have their bad. They all have their, well, I don't know much. Honestly, the right. And they seem to do a lot of the blaming about violence and guns. But they're the people who want, you know, you see videos of influencers saying, if your church doesn't have at least 6 armed guards, go to a different church. If your school only has 1 armed guard, send your kids to a different school. Hang on a minute, mate. Exactly like somebody else, Bill Jobran said. You've got your head down, you're praying. What are you going to have? One hand on the gun and one eye open, looking around at everyone in church like, yeah. And you claim you want 6 guards at church, 1 guard in a school? Ah, see, influence. Why do you need an AK-47 or an Armalite in the middle of the city anyway? What are you going to do? Machine gun a squirrel, like remember in Predator, Schwarzenegger in the gang with the and all the trees and shit just go and fall down. I ain't got time to bleed. Jesse Ventura, he's ended up a politician. Was Minneapolis. Yeah. Check out what he's got to say about what's happening. I mean, you know. Arnie, check out what he's got to say about it. Robert De Niro. I mean, you know, their thing of another influence is they're sitting there saying to people, well, we're out of time. So I'll speed this up really fast. They're busy saying, oh, these washed up such and such as, you know, blah, blah, blah. Mainstream, you know, influencers and media and things are saying, these washed up such and such as such as... What is every single person in the world a washed up, used up actor like Billie Eilish and things? Man, they're multi-million stars. And you got these weirdo things, people talking about Nicki Minaj. Nicki who? Man, the last song I remember of hers was Starships Is Meant to Fly or something. I thought it is alright song. Nothing great, but it, you know. Her colour, I don't care about her colour. But she's washed up. She's as washed up as Kid Rock, Ted Nugent, and all the other people. Guns N' Roses, they're making a comeback. You know, and everyone's going, oh, and they had a piñata in Mexico of Trump getting beaten up and stuff. And a few channels were going, left channels and things, you know, because I watch both sides. We're going, oh, right, it's so cool. Google the words to 1 in a Million, the Guns N' Roses song. It is the Hatred of Hate national anthem. Google it. I never ever liked them. Even before I heard that song, they were fake, painted, prancing around. Just the sort of crap that rich, arrogant, that I dislike in people. 1 in a Million. Google it. Bye. Like I said, feel free. I don't care either way. Honestly. Because I ain't doing it for that. I ain't doing it for money. I ain't getting paid. Or any of that stuff. I'm doing it because I have children. And I want my children, like your kids, to grow up in a better world than what we've lived in. There's a proverb from the American Indians. Our parents don't give us this world. We borrow it from our children. Think about that. We don't own the world. We borrow it from our children because when we're all gone, they're the ones who have to live with what we make and create. And you know what? You might be a rich person who's well-to-do and you're living all fine now, but that might not always be the case. And when that happens, you're going to be right down here next to us, swimming in the shit. Have a nice day.